Hey everybody, this is Coach Tara Woodruff, the Mind Reset Coach, coming to you from my office here in Holiday, Florida with verse 9 of the Tao of Network Marketing. Welcome back. This verse is very powerful. I enjoy it. I have the judgment of enjoyment on it. And it's really about being a humble. That's what it's about. So let me go ahead and read the verse. Oh, I don't have to pick that up yet. The verse is, verse 9. To keep filling is not as good as stopping. Overfilled, the cupped hands drip. Better to stop pouring. Sharpen a blade too much, and its edge will soon be lost. Fill your house with jade and gold, and it brings insecurity. Puff yourself with honor and pride, and no one can save you from a fall. Retire when the work is done, and that's the way of heaven. I absolutely love this. Now, I want to give you a disclaimer right now. Lao Tzu, in this verse, was not trying to tell you or try to enforce the dogma that you may have learned in your life throughout your culture or your religion or whatever, that having financial or material abundance is wrong. That's not what he's trying to say. He's trying to say, learn to be happy with what you have and trust the flow of abundance in your life. Okay? I told you guys a couple of verses ago that I watched a keynote speech by Frank Kern, and he discussed what, like, the process in his entire internet marketing career. He's like a product developer kind of guy. I don't think he's a network marketer, but a product developer kind of guy, and it's a very similar business. As a matter of fact, you probably go from network marketing to product developing into network marketing. It's part of the process. He really gets in depth. It's a really excellent keynote. I watched the whole thing. It was 2 hours long, and he was describing a point in his life where he had all these physical material things that he thought he wanted. Okay, he wasn't attached to the direct core of his desires, right from his heart. He was attaining material possessions in accordance to what he thought he needed to have to show that he was successful. And he found himself, he called it an extreme state of paranoia. People would drive down his street and he was scared. When he was driving his Ferrari, he was afraid someone was going to touch it. Just, if you notice that with yourself, that's what we're talking about here. That's what Lao Tzu is trying to express to you. If you have such a physical attachment, such an emotional attachment to a physical thing, because it represents some sort of wealth, and maybe it is something that cost you a lot of learning, a lot of money, and a lot of time, you're going to be more attached to it in such a way that it could hinder you from seeing what's really there. Imagine walking down the street and not being able to look into people's faces and smile because you're so afraid they're going to notice the diamond ring on your hand and might try to take it from you. What's more valuable? When you come to your core, when you get in alignment with the Tao, you can have and love your material possessions. However, you want to be very careful about your happiness. That's really the most important thing. And if any of those material possessions are getting in the way of your happiness, it's like crying over spilt milk. Let it go. Also, he's discussing waste. You don't want to be wasteful when he talks about the cupped hands drip when it's being overfilled. Don't waste your energies in your network marketing business by trying to cover too many bases at once. Okay, like the leaders always tell you, get one social media, master it, then move on to the next social media and master it. You don't have to be everywhere. And when you start feeling this big hole in yourself, you start company jumping. You start chasing shiny balls. You start doing things like that, and that will distract you from your main business. I was on a call last night. David Wood was talking about one of the Empower Network affiliates and how he's doing so well. I can't remember his name. I wish I could. I'd say his name. And he asked him, how are you doing this? And he said, I'm focused. That does not mean that he is not offering his new Empower Network team his affiliate link when he tells them you need an autoresponder. No. That doesn't mean that he's not saying, hey, here's my link to get landing pages because you need to have your own, that it's not his affiliate link. No. He's not restricting his multiple streams of income. He's restricting what he's focused on. If he wants to focus on his Get Response account, good luck making a lot of money there. It's just an additional stream. It's that extra check that you get out of the blue and you say, oh my gosh, let me go buy some traffic with that. Okay? So having multiple streams of income is very different than focusing on two separate businesses. So keep that in mind, because if you scatter yourself out too much, you waste your own energy. You waste all the work that you're doing. You know what I mean? If I start talking to you about something else right now, and you're watching these blogs and you're checking out the Dow Network Marketing, and I start talking overly about something else. Now, you do see me offer affiliate products because I know they're valuable and they're still in alignment with being a professional entrepreneur. That's my thing. But if you see me start talking about something that's completely out of there, that's completely different, you might say to yourself, well, where is Tara focused? And is she wasting her energy? And can she really be my sponsor in Empower Network if she's focused on building this? Where am I going to be? Am I going to be in everything? Am I going to have to join all these businesses just to do business with Tara? No. That's not the point. We don't want to do that. We don't want to keep you confused, and we don't want to overfill. And you want to take that advice for yourself. You don't want to overfill yourself and be focused on so many different things. You want to be focused on one thing only, and that's providing massive amounts of value to your marketplace and focusing on your business and having those affiliate links that you need for your team, because you need to raise professional network marketers, because that's what we need in this industry more than anything else. Because when we start filling up with professional network marketers and success rates stop going from 3% to 40%, trust me, those companies that aren't treating some of you network marketers out there so good will change their tune. They will change it. They will have to. Okay? Let's see here. Puff yourself up with honor and pride. No one can save you from a fall. Give you a really great example of that. I'm going to go back to, I joined Empower Network in October 2011. I was living in a home without lights or running water, and I was going to the library every single day to work my shake business online. And I was struggling really, really bad. And I met a gentleman on the internet, and I joined Empower Network. I stayed for a month. I didn't have it. My head was totally out there. And I was struggling within this business that I was in outside of Empower Network, because I was dealing with people that I personally felt that they were like, fucking, come on now, you kidding me? This person's making that money? Like, they couldn't fucking ring up a fucking order at Publix. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was my attitude. That's bullshit attitude. Not only was I hurting myself within that company because of my own thoughts, my own opinions about people, I was not able to get past my own limitations and allow myself to grow with Empower Network at the time. And there ain't nothing wrong with that, because I wasn't ready. I joined Empower Network again in 2013 because I finally understood something very powerful. And when a company is paying you, 10%, a 10% freaking commission or something like that, and you have to have a team of like 30,000 active members in order to make $10,000 a month, I knew something was wrong with that. And I went back into Empower Network, but I never bothered to use the product. I blogged all the time. I had a whole bunch of blogs. I think I had 5 or 6 of them. I never even listened to the first training. I never even listened to the core commitments. Never pressed fucking play. You can't get the benefits out of a product if you're not going to do it. Not only that, I used to go on hangouts with people, and I used to see what I was considering these flaky girls that didn't know what they were doing, and they didn't even know how to run a hangout, and I have all these skills, and I should be making more money than them. And you know what I blocked myself from? That 1 minute where I could have stayed on that hangout just a little bit longer, where I would have found a bit of knowledge, a little bit of gift from those women that could have changed my life. And I ignored it. And when the tough got tough, I got going, and I was out of there. I want you to think about this right now. I'm back in Empower Network, and I'm never going to leave. You know what I'm saying? I can't see leaving. For what? I already know that I love it. And sometimes 3 times is what it takes. What I want to point out to you is imagine how much further I could have been at this point in my life if I had pressed play and listened and absorbed the training that David would gave us. And maybe if I threw my ego out the door when I got on Hangouts instead of being so judgmental of people, who the fuck am I? Do you know what I'm saying? So think about that. I don't care if you're making $10,000, $30,000, $40,000, $100,000 a month. If you're not humble, you will not be able to reach down into your team and help somebody that's just beginning. You also won't be able to listen just a little bit longer for that one piece of advice that takes you from the point you're at, to the next point. It's very important to be humble. So we're getting on 10 minutes here. Let me go to the book. Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life by Dr. Wayne Dyer. Should I put a link in the blog post so that you guys can go buy the book? I don't know. Make an attempt to reverse ego's hold on you by practicing the Tao's teaching to serve the need of others, and all your own needs will be fulfilled. That's in the 7th verse. How do I lose my page? Okay. That's okay. Look at that. Was that good? Deep within ourselves, we sense that this organizing principle of unconditional supplies knows when to stop. So we don't need to question the quantities that the Tao brings forth. You want to have spiritual rapport with that characteristic of the Tao. Cramming life with possessions, pleasures, pride, and activities when we obviously reach a point where more is less indicates being in harmony with the ego and not the Tao. So all you have to do is recognize for yourself without guilt. Don't allow your predisposition to guilt about things to be the marker. What you want to get in touch with is the spirit of it. When you know that you've had enough, stop. That's all. When you drink a couple of glasses of wine after dinner and you've had enough at your 3rd glass, don't pour the 4th. If you're eating and you were like famished when you got to the meal, and then about halfway through the meal you're not famished anymore, but man, it tastes good, you keep going, just slow down. Put your fork down and rest a second. Never eat when you're full. Okay? Let's see here. What else did he say? Lao Tzu advises us to be careful about amassing great wealth and storing it away. Amassing great wealth is not a problem. Storing it away, hoarding, is. The practice contributes to a life spent keeping our fortune safe and insured, while at the same time always feeling the need to pursue more. Now, I want you to continue to pursue more. I want you to continue to expand yourself in a spiritual way, in an abundance way, and I want your team to grow to numbers that you couldn't even believe, and I want you to keep working on that. But I don't want you to hoard any of it as if it's yours. All it is by direct result of the actions that you produce in your life and the spirituality that you project and the value that you bring to the market, that you are allowed to enjoy these things. You understand? When you start bottling yourself up and getting rigid and cutting everything off and hoarding and keeping things as mine, you lose. Next thing you know, maybe you lose your favorite pen. And you want to know where it is and who's got my favorite pen, and then all of a sudden you have arguments and strife in your house or in your office or wherever because you're so attached to something. Now, I love this pen, but I'm going to tell you something. $10 can replace it. Now, when you have that Mont Blanc, that's $5,000. Don't covet it so much. It's almost like you take it for granted. It's cavalier. You lose that pen, oh well, I get another one. You feel me? Okay, good. If wealth and fame are desired, we must know when to retire from the treadmill and be like the Tao. Come to grips with the radical concept of enough is enough. Do your work and step back. Just like in manifesting the law of attraction. Set your goal, be specific, think it, ink it, and let it go. Do your work and relax. Relax in your work. Seek the joy in your activities rather than focusing on your ego's agenda. Powerful. If I read a blog post from Entrepreneur Magazine yesterday, 3 psychology books to help you with your business. One of the books is about a football coach, I believe, and they wanted to talk about how he could just make champions out of any team that he went to, and they asked him what his secret was to that, and he said, because I'm focused on the process, not the win. We already know the win's coming. Fall in love with the process. Love the pain. When you're challenged, embrace that shit. Embrace it. I'm being funny. Okay, so seek the pleasure in what you're doing rather than just in how it might ultimately benefit you. Begin to trust that infinite wisdom that birthed you into this material world. After all, it knew the exact timing of your arrival here. It didn't say, if 9 months will create such a beautiful baby, I'll extend the gestation period for 5 years. Now, we'll have an even more perfect creation. No, the Tao just said 9 months is plenty. Okay? So to practice this today in your business, this is going to be, he's not marketing here, so I'm just going to go ahead and come up with what I think would be the best. When you find yourself in your business and you really want to have an opinion, let it go. Go read my blog post on how releasing judgments and opinions like that will help you. Find yourself in the moment, see yourself in the other person, and relax and just listen. You just listen. When it comes to feeling distracted by shiny balls, they're all over the place. There's all sorts of stuff out there. Just relax. Ask yourself some questions like I asked, I think, 2 days ago. Do you have a blog? Do you have an autoresponder? Do you have landing pages? If you answered no to any of those, get them. And do you have a primary business that you are in alignment with? Yes, there is no shiny balls. Be so focused on the value and the life that you're creating in your business that someone's shiny ball bullshit won't even distract you. The only way that you can help your team make money is by making money and showing them exactly how to do it, just like I'm showing you right now. Get in touch with the Tao in your business and you're going to flourish. There's no way around it. So that's verse 9. Tomorrow, verse 10. I love you all very much. If you really resonate with me and you'd like to work directly with me, click the first link in the description here and on YouTube. If you're on the blog post, it's going to be down at the bottom, all the way at the bottom by my signature. Go ahead and click that link and get started. In the meantime, if you're on YouTube, go to the blog post for sure, because I'm going to write a whole bunch more. I want to cut this off. We went inside today and look how long the video got. I love you all very much. You have a beautiful day. I'll see you later. Bye.